Good morning, everyone. I see a few of you have found your way back to the trading room. Sorry about the technical difficulties yesterday. GoToWebinar, the platform that we use, unfortunately does not tell us when we're running out of webinars, scheduled webinars. And so when we do the last one, that's it. We have to reboot it all. So my apologies for that. All right. Here we are with the NASDAQ market. And it looks like yesterday we probably didn't miss too much. A lot of the rally came in the overnight. The day session, although it looks like we had a half-decent rally here, the day session more or less sideways for the most part. We are opening with a very small gap above the market. We'll see if that does anything. In the meantime, we'll just wait them out a little bit here. You can see on the hawk we got a lot of yellow bars printing. Oh, getting an early signal here on the Falcon. Right out of the gate, we're getting a late filter entry signal. So there we go. There's a late filter entry signal to buy. If you're looking to take advantage of some of these early signals, there's definitely one for you. The Raptor producing a hard edge bounce signal at the same time. But like I said, it's still very early. We're only a couple of minutes into the session. Don't want to rush into doing something foolish. It looks as though they're going to try to trickle higher off those signals. Get back toward the overnight high. Obviously, there's going to be some resistance here around the 6,000 area. If you're looking for a second push entry opportunity, we've had a couple here on this number 3 signal. We had a second push entry right here, followed by another second push entry opportunity right there at the high, or very close to the high. bad start to the morning. It looks like we've hit our high probability profit objective on that first signal. Now we're getting a little bit of a reaction there. Okay, the market drifting now. We've got, looks like we're going to come back toward the hard edge here in the Eagle and the Raptor. And the Falcon trying to turn over a little bit as well. Okay, here comes another hard edge bounce here on the Raptor. You can see our other tools, with the exception of the Eagle, already getting a little bit more bearish. Or they were. Okay. Here's a, don't run away on me. Here's a number 3 signal. Can I cover it down here? It's a little bit out of reach. Let's try. So all I've done here is I've allowed the market to retreat from the signal, so I'm looking for renewed momentum to bring me into the trade. And hopefully there'll be a little bit of follow through. At least they didn't slip me this morning. Hey, Mark, way to go. Mark says, good morning, Eric. That first Falcon late filter entry, although a bit risky, paid off for $400 on 4 contracts. All in, all out. Not a bad start. Not a bad start at all, Mark. So let's just take a look at that late filter entry signal here that Mark capitalized on. So with your Falcon, the late filter entry signal occurs when the filter goes out of sync and comes back into sync, but the whole time your trend line does not change color. Technically, this was also a trend change signal, kind of piggybacking on the late filter entry. And the market went up, hit its high probability target, and as it often does when it hits the high probability target, there's a little bit of a reversal. So good reason to go all in, all out. Oh, and now we're getting a trend change signal / late filter entry to the short side also. So the market kind of reversing on that earlier signal. Still kind of got a bit of a sideways drift going on, don't we? Oh dear, I didn't have a chance to do anything here with my Raptor trade. Looks like it came down, tagged my stops. Now it looks like we're going to get another reaction. And overall, it looks like we're getting a little bit more bearish, maybe. You can see here the Hawk already bearish, the Falcon already bearish, the Eagle back into the hard edge. Yeah, Mark says the all-time high has him a little bit cautious. There's going to be some selling at the highs, that's for sure. So we're getting a couple of follow-up signals. We had a first micro-macro cross lower here on the Hawk. A trend line touch signal here on the Falcon. I don't know if I'm convinced about the downside potential to the market right now. flattening out a little bit. You can see we're getting a little bit sideways here. Alright, just kind of watching and waiting now. Okay, it looks like we've got a little bit more of a bearish bias to the morning now. Prices pretty much, except for that quick little rally out of the open, they've been falling since about 10-15 minutes in. Waiting for the cloud crossover signal. There should be a little bit of a pullback here, and if the sellers are going to try to press the market lower, then after the pullback we should come out and produce a number one signal to sell. Everything's moving in slow motion here today. Okay, there's a couple of ways the market can go from here. I know I'm stating the obvious again. But the market seems very balanced at this point. You know, we've had just looking at the daily range, we've had a good push up, and now we've had a good move down, and we're near the top of the hour, we're near the top of, or the end of our opening range. It looks like the market has kind of set the parameters for the day. This is a little bit of a pullback. Normally I'd like to see a little bit more. There's the number one signal. Let's see if I can get a second push on that. We're seeing a little bit of a reaction, maybe the market trying to get a little bit further into that hard edge. Okay, they're gonna try to make another run at it, maybe. All right, now we're actually getting a counter trend signal. So we're bouncing all around a little. The trend of the morning to me seems to be down, so I'll stay with the number one signal for the time being. Counter trend signals, of course, always difficult to manage. Oh, thanks, Steve. I forgot that I have not rolled into the uh, December contract. You know what? I will do that later. But you are correct. I should be trading December, not September. Yeah, the last week I tend to roll into the current month. I thought I'd done that already. Yeah, Mark says I didn't notice either. That's why my chart looks a little different. They'll move together, but the values, of course, will be different. All right, let's see if we get any follow through this time. Now the choice is yours whether you're going to try to run this out or whether you're just going to try to take profit on target. I don't know if we're going to get a full-blown reversal here, but like I said, the trend does seem to be down. Oh, all right. Let's see if I can't take it a little bit further. I know. I should just take profit on target. That's what I should do. Stops are a little bit cozy for this kind of trade. All right, if this bar, there we go, we would have hit our break-even trigger. And if the next bar finishes lower, I would have hit the profit objective as well. Come on, don't reverse yet. If we can stay below the primary support, that's this blue line right here. There's a chance that we can run it, well, 59.66 quarter, the next line seems like a very reasonable target. 59.57 quarter would be my home run trade. In fact, I will even put a buy order in there to wait for it, and we'll do it like that. Oh, come on now. Don't be flinching just yet. So I'd like to see one more push lower. If we can get down below the 59.72 area one more time, I feel a little bit better about bringing my stops to break even. Although I almost feel I should do that anyhow. Okay. Oops. There we go. That's all they get. All right, I'll take the break-even tap out on that. Okay, we're coming back with a buy signal as we get into the hard edge. We could get a little bit of a rally here because the market is kind of sideways. The big trend, of course, up, the short-term trend down. Okay, the Falcon's starting to change over here on the trend line, the hawk into yellow bars. If the Raptor gave me a little better test of the extreme and a buy signal, I think there would be a buying opportunity there. on the shelf for the moment. The hawk giving us a green bar buy signal. This is a signal that develops near the end of a trend, and for that reason you can treat it as a counter trend signal and try to buy it rather than sell it, or you can simply use it as an early warning as well. An early warning that the trend may be ending, in which case we're going to get a first micro-macro cross signal higher. But you can set up for the failure of that one. Oh, we're coming back with a hard edge bounce here on the Raptor. It's the kind of situation where you're probably better off looking for second push entry opportunities. You know, the market has engaged the signal, it's retreated, so you'll enter below the low of that bar. Very little follow through. My goodness, it's a slow moving market today. Okay, we're going to see the market breach 59.82 half, which is kind of this zone right here. And then we'll see what the sellers have got, if anything. We've just produced a counter trend signal actually after the number 3 signal. That's not usually good for the hard edge bounce signal. When a number 2 forms after a number 3, that's a little bit of bullishness coming in, or trying to come in. Price is holding up here at the median line. Still waiting for the sellers to push back so that we know where the sellers are at. And of course, we're back into the hard edge, which is the target, technically the target for the counter trend trade. Okay, the seller's starting to push back, so this is a reasonable place now to bring your stops in. If the market fails at this level, then it's probably going to be time to go. So close, come on, get down there a little bit. If we can see the market get back down here to the primary support, it will have some room, at least enough to get to the profit target. This is forming up to be a little bit of a bear flag. But we do need to see that breakdown, that move lower, producing another hard edge bounce signal, the number 3 signal. So technically this is also a double pullback, which tends to be a pretty reliable signal overall. All right. pull this back down here to where I was looking for my earlier profit target. Oh, come on. Yikes, now I don't know if I'm going to be able to ride that out. They're trying. My concern is that this is going to develop into a bigger pullback, and my stops are going to be too tight. The proper stop, the stop that's going to ride out this swing, needs to be much higher. Actually closer toward the highs of the day. This whole range is much too neutral. Normally we see, when this kind of thing develops, we see the market continue with trend, or at least attempt to continue with trend. But if it doesn't start going somewhere soon, it's going to end up being a sideways trading range. And if it is a sideways trading range, and the problem is we're going to have buying down here, we're going to have selling up here. You can see we're just flip-flopping on the signals. Nice to see the sellers coming back, which is what we would anticipate as the market got back toward these little highs here. Okay, now we're getting a little bit of a bearish break. much of a bearish break. We're seeing a lot of rejection off of this primary support line, and that is causing me concern. As prices try to make yet another push higher. Yeah, Peter says it's so range bound today. I just booked a tea time. Good for you, Peter. Peter says made $85 today on 2 trades, 1 winner, 1 loser. Yesterday made $160. Better to keep my profits. Yes, always a good plan. Yeah, here comes that bullish push again, back toward the top end of our tiny little trading range and maybe the bottom end of a larger trading range. It's a little early to tell. We're kind of in that 50-50 neighborhood right now, kind of like playing red or black on the roulette table. Just going back and forth here this morning. You know what, Jeffrey, you might be right. Jeff says traders must be resting up for the launch of the iPhone X later today, or iPhone 10. It's entirely possible. There's obviously not much propelling the market right now. No, get away from there. Here we go. Gonna make another run at the lows. Oh my goodness, is this thing on? Yes. The Geiger counter, look at the Geiger counter. It's pulling back over to the buy side. Okay, are we going to make a break for it this time? Here we go. Oh my goodness. We might actually take out the primary support here and this little swing low. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Almost. Here we go. They're trying. They're trying really hard. Well, at least it hasn't bounced back yet. I spoke too soon. Well, there's a danger that this could develop into a bigger double bottom, in which case we might see the market bounce again, but as I mentioned earlier, the overall trend is down, and oh my goodness, we might actually see a little bit of a breakdown below the low of the day. Maybe, just maybe, I'll be able to roll my stop to break even. Wouldn't that be something? All right, boys and girls, I need to button up the room here a little bit early today. I have a meeting with Adam actually at the top of the hour, and I was late for it yesterday, so I don't dare be late for it today again. If you're going to trade this afternoon, I think what you see is what you get. The trend, as I mentioned, does seem to be down. So I'd probably stay with the short side as much as possible. Yes, Mark, I will. I will let him, I will extend your good wishes toward him. Adam, of course, in the Houston area, cleaning up a little bit after Hurricane Harvey going through there and making quite a mess of things for everyone. Okay, gang, I will catch you tomorrow. Hopefully the market's a little bit more active, or I'll get a book. All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye for now.